record to this. Hello, Niha, and all students watching this at a later date. Thank you for watching this 551 tutorial on the basics of Nuke. So in this tutorial, we are going to be doing what we did in the first week in After Effects, learning about keying, masking, and keyframing using Nuke, which is an alternative to After Effects. Actually, it's technically the industry standard, but we can go over some of the advantages of Nuke versus After Effects later. So this is Nuke. It's pretty cool looking because of the node graph. So what we're gonna do is our goal is, oh, can you see everything okay?
I can see.
Great. So our goal is to make this, probably want him to be smaller though, just because he's a little bigger than all the people, and have him explode and then he's gone. So pretty stupid video, but the advantage of it is it will, in creating this effect where this individual explodes and disappears, we will learn these important basic concepts. So what I have here are 3 videos. I have this, and if you remember my After Effects video, this will all look familiar because it's basically we're just doing the same thing. We're creating the same effect. However, we are using Nuke. So I will begin by importing my footage into Nuke. So we have all of the footage in Nuke, and each video is a node, right? So the way, and the viewer is how you view the different items in the different videos. Oh, so to begin, we want our composition to be 1920 by 1080. You can see it defaults to 2K for some reason. So you got to just go in and change that. And the way I did that is you just click the node graph here and press S, and these project settings will appear. Change it to 1080p, and now we're all good. Any questions so far?
Nope.
Great. And so you can view the different videos that you have here. One thing I don't like as much about Nuke is you can't really compare the timelines as easily as you can in After Effects, but that's fine. So as we did last time, what we had to do was we had to mask out this area where it's green and then key out the green. So to do that, we are going to start by creating a roto node. Oh, not there. And so here's our roto node, which we are going to, and so with this roto node, we are going to create a mask around this green area that we will then be able to key out. So I am doing that. We're not going to get his feet, unfortunately. We could if we made a mask around his feet, but we don't need him because the feet aren't even going to be shown in our final composition anyways. So it is all good. Now, this is rotoed out. However, it's not connected to the footage. So we are going to merge, which you can do by right-clicking and adding a merge node or clicking M. And we actually want A of the merge node to be our video and B to be the roto. And we're going to change a couple things. We want the roto to be RGBA and RGB out. Yeah, RGBA there. And then we want our merge node to be in, right? So as you can see, nothing's happening because our viewer is still connected to the video node. So we're going to switch that to the merge node. And the easiest way to do that is just by pressing 1. It makes it a really quick transition from whatever node you're on to the viewer. All right, so that looks like a mask. That's what we want. So that's good. So now we have to key out this green, which we can do by adding a key light node. This is one way to key. So we want to connect that to this, and we want to connect the out M to the roto node. Just a little thing that works pretty well. And then our source is connected to the overall merge node. And then to key, you have to go to the screen color, and stop me if you have any questions at any point. The problem with Nuke is everything is a little bit more tricky than After Effects, but that's fine. So we click that. Now there's that eyedropper. You can't really tell because the back of the eyedropper is over black. And you press Control-click to key out the green background. So that looks pretty good. We can look at our alpha, and that looks pretty good. Oh, we also want to change view to composite and out M to inverted alpha to give us the alpha we want. As you can see, it's not super clean. It's not super clean, but if we want to clean it out, or clean that up, it's pretty easy. You just go increase the screen gain, and it's still not very clean. So we're going to increase the black, and there we go. Now it looks real nice. So that's a great key. And because based on the alpha, oh, and the way I made the alpha was I just clicked A, right? A while hovering over this screen, or while hovering over this viewer. And that is a helpful way to make sure the keying looks the way you want it to. So now we want our video, we want to put this individual in Paris. So we are going to do that by merging the individual A, that's correct, with B. And the easy way to remember this is B for background. That just happens to work well. So now our protagonist is in front of Paris. However, he's not in the right position and he's way too big. So we're going to add a transform node, which you can do by going this way and clicking transform, or you can just click T. We don't need that. We want that there, right? And there we go. So then we can just move him because we added the transform node. And then in the actual transform node properties panel, we just scale our protagonist down. So there is our protagonist. He is in Paris. He's looking great. You can get rid of all that other stuff by clicking remove all panels from the control. For some, that gets rid of everything. So that's pretty nice. And then, so we're seeing this and the video looks pretty cool. He's in Paris and he's very excited. So now we need to add this explosion effect, which is here. And obviously the way we're going to do that is by adding a key light node, the same way we did before, connecting it with source and doing the same thing we did earlier, control click. And sometimes it's confusing. You look at it and you're like, why did nothing happen? It's because the viewer is still connected to that. So make sure key light is the item connected to the viewer. We're going to merge all of these effects with a merge node, A, and then B for background. And as you can see, it's getting kind of messy. That's one thing. You can see everything in Nuke, which is nice, unlike in After Effects where you have to click all the drop down menus for all of the different items, but it's kind of nice, I guess, because you can see everything. You can, and if you're looking at a feature, a shot in a feature, you're probably going to be using all this space. But for our little experiment here, we definitely are not going to be. But yeah, here's the everything. Here's all of the shots composited. Again, it's not in the right position. So what do?
Transform node.
Nice. All right, transform node, move it down, probably scale it down a little bit. So it's not a little bit less than that. It's not so big. And probably we also, if we look at the timing, this is one thing I don't love about Nuke is there must be a way to solve this, but it's a little confusing on the timeline. But we want probably to wait a second. So the way we make it start a little bit later is we click on that. We say frame start at, and let's have this video start at frame 50. So let's see. Now it's going to start a little later, and our protagonist is going to be there doing his thing, and then he's going to explode. Pretty exciting. It's pretty slow. It's running very slowly. Nuke is a heavy program, but he's still there. That's not good. We want him to be gone after he explodes. We want him to disintegrate. So we're going to have to key basically what we did in After Effects is we just keyed his opacity. So at one moment, so here we want him, but after that we don't. So we go to this node. This is the node where our protagonist is visible. So we're just going to set this is mix is opacity in Nuke. So we're going to set a key there. Then we're going to move forward just a couple of frames, and it's going to make the opacity 0, and it automatically keyed that. So now he should be gone. Yeah. Very cool. All right. So that almost looks good, but what we did in After Effects is we just added an adjustment layer where you can change the overall look of the shot. And we're going to do that here by adding a grade node. So you can click G or go color grade. Boom. Now attach that there. And then in the other shot, it was pretty blue. So we want it to be a little bluer because blue looks nice. And there we go. Now it looks blue and pretty, looks very cinematic and professional. So there we go. Now the last thing we need to do is render our shot out, which you can do.
Can you just tell me what did you do in the grades? You went in grade and just changed the color to blue?
Yeah, I should have. So gain is the way you can adjust the color of the, it's just an easy way to adjust the color of the overall, since this is basically the closest thing to the viewer, the closest node to the viewer, it's going to change everything at once, which is kind of nice. I think it looks nice with the blue. I could do a more professional looking color grade, but just for the sake of this tutorial, I'll just do that. I think that looks pretty good. I think that's the thing. I'm sure they might have that. That's one thing I like about Adobe also is they have all these color grades built in that are really pretty. Oh, I'm going to save this. Kobe in Paris, Nuke. And there we have it. There's that video. The last thing we need. Oh, any other questions?
No.
Great. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to render it, which we're going to do by
A right node.
Yes, correct. So right. Boom. Yeah, you remember all of this. So we're going to write that, and we are going to pick a destination. So it's currently going to the desktop. That's perfect. Kobe in Paris video 1. Save. That gave it our destination. We're going to render, and we're going to render probably 300 frames. 1 to 300. Okay. What? I don't know what just happened. Right? Render. What did I do? Oh, I know what I did. We need to name it .mov so that it renders as a movie or as a .mov. And now we can click render 1 to 300. Okay, there we go. And now it's going to render. Any questions, Neha? While we await the render?
So this is very helpful. This kind of reminded me of everything. And though I have questions in Keylight node,
yes.
Okay, sorry, but this is going to be basic. What is Keylight node used for?
The Keylight node is probably the easiest. You can do keying with a variety of the nodes that are available in Nuke. However, Keylight is probably the easiest one. It's kind of the most basic one, but it looks really good. It's actually, for some reason, the component in After Effects that you use is also for the easiest one for keying is called Keylight as well. It's just really good for keying out green footage. Really good for green footage.
Okay.
But we can actually dive back into that node in just a sec and take a look at the different types of ways we can adjust it. Because yeah, it's really nice being able to mess with the alpha, so that you can get the key that you want, the key looking really good exactly how you want it.
Right. Okay.
As soon as it is done writing.
It's about to be done, I guess.
Yeah, I think the other thing that might be helpful to talk about is the advantages of using Nuke over After Effects and the disadvantages, which we kind of talked about before this tutorial started. Yes. Essentially, if you're out in the world and not in school, Nuke is $9,000, whereas After Effects is included in a Creative Cloud subscription, which is among Premiere Pro and Photoshop and all these other super useful softwares, just $360 a year, which is still a lot, but compared to $9,000, it's, I would say, so if you're doing an independent film, probably don't buy Nuke because there goes a large portion of your budget. But if you are working as a professional compositor, they'll probably have you using Nuke because you can, I think at that level of compositing, they do a lot with scripting and things that you can't really do in After Effects as easily, or maybe even at all, just so that you can automate and procedurally accomplish a lot of the more tedious, repetitive tasks. And I think Nuke is pretty good for that. But it's way more confusing, in my opinion, and way more complex and way more expensive. And also harder for your computer to run, I'm pretty sure, because this is crazy. It's taking forever to render, but that's just the way it is with these things. Any other questions, or should we, we'll just watch the video as soon as it's done. Okay, so let's go to, let's see what we read, Kobe in Paris video 1 MOV. There it is. Oh, shoot. What happened? I must not have put him down as much. Huh, I must not have, did I make a mistake? Oh, as you can see, don't be a fool like I am. And you see, I pulled it back. So obviously what I would do there to fix that, super simple, just go back to the transform node and move him down a little bit more. And there he is. So that was not ideal, but you get it. Then we would just, you'd probably adjust the explosion a little bit, but there that is. So that's pretty good. It's not a super cool video, but gets the job done. Oh, so you wanted to explore Keylight a little bit?
Just I kind of, I remember but don't remember. I'm in that state.
Right. So here we are. We're connected. We've connected Keylight directly to the viewer node. Right.
Okay.
So alpha is just clicking A is the way to. So I'll put it back to its default settings where. Right. So black is there, and the screen gain is set to maybe there. That was the default. So screen gain, you do in After Effects too. And oh, that's the other thing. You have to say view composite and out M inverted alpha. If you don't do that, then as you can see, that's not going to work super well. And it's going to just screw up your whole, it's just going to screw up your whole thing. Oh, actually, I guess it won't. Oh yeah, see?
Yep.
So you have to make sure that you are actually out mass component needs to be inverted. But yeah, so here you go. I wonder, you could also probably no, that doesn't work. You just have to increase the black and decrease, increase screen gain. Oh, so I guess you could probably just leave the screen gain normal and just do black. That'll help. And then you can click A, see how it looks. It's a pretty good key.
Yes.
Despite the fact that if you look at the original footage, it's not a super impressive green screen setup.
Yeah, but still great.
Yeah, does the job. Oh,
yeah.
That's another kind of fun thing about Nuke is that you can just switch between, you can see each step of the process via this. So that's, yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yep.
That's Nuke.